gonna come at you like a spider monkey. It's such a good vibration. You're such a...
Hey guys, it's Courtney. So today I'm going to be making a video about something that's honestly kind of hard for me to talk about. I just kind of wanted to be like real with you guys in like my rawest form, which is literally me with no makeup, like my hair up crazy. So as you guys probably know from the title, this video is going to be about one of my past relationships. It was actually my first relationship. It was mentally abusive and it started going in the direction of being physically abusive. So before I start the video, I just want to say I'm not making this video to get sympathy from you guys. I'm making this video more to be informational and to help some of you guys out who may have gone through similar things or may be going through similar things right now. Also, I'm not saying that this situation that I went through was the worst it could be. It definitely could have been way worse, but that doesn't take away from what I felt. Everyone handles certain situations differently, and just because my situation wasn't as bad as something that you might be going through, it doesn't mean that it still didn't impact me immensely. So I'm going to basically tell you guys the entire story from how we met to how things turned out to be, because a lot of times with people who become physically abusive, they don't start out with the physical abuse right away. It's kind of like a movie where the director will build up this character to make them seem like a great, awesome, amazing person, and then once they start acting up, it's like it kind of messes with your brain a little bit. Like, how could this person act like that? I'm just going to start from the very beginning. If you guys want to see more videos like this, just let me know. Subscribe, comment, and my DMs are always open. You guys are more than welcome to message me asking for advice or just to stop by and say hi. I really love like using my experiences to help other people so that they hopefully don't repeat the same things that I do. So I'm just going to explain the story now. I knew this guy from high school. Let's call him Drake. I'm not obviously going to use his real name, like, hello sir. We met my freshman year of high school and we didn't really talk that much. I kind of thought of him as that annoying kid in class who didn't hit puberty yet and was always raising his hands, asking the stupidest questions. I didn't really talk to him and I wasn't really friends with him. And then junior year comes around and we had another class together. And I remember the first day of school, he sits in the chair that's next to me. And I was like, oh my god, I really don't want to be next to this kid. Like, I had this image of him in my brain that he was still this annoying kid from my biology class freshman year. So the teacher hands around like a sheet, which basically if you wanted to like move your seat to the other side of the classroom kind of thing, or like sit next to whoever, you could write your name down in the seat. But I was all the way on the left side of the classroom and everyone on the right side just kind of stayed in their seats. So like everyone just like kind of stayed where they sat on the first day, kind of like how college is. And so I was like I'm gonna have to sit next to Drake for the entire year. And for some reason we ended up being in a group for, we would have like little class discussions and like little projects and stuff like that, and so we had groups for them and he ended up being in my group. Even though we picked the group, somehow he ended up in mine. I remember one of the other group members was yelling at us for something and Drake texted me separately from the group chat and was like, oh my god, this person is so annoying, in the group chat. And that's pretty much how we started talking. Since he still sat next to me, I remember it was kind of after Thanksgiving break when we started talking more, like even in class, because I remember he came in and told me this story about how him and his sister smoked on Thanksgiving or whatever, and I was like, oh my god, like I didn't know you smoked. I do too. So that's kind of how we like became closer. From then on out, we kind of started Snapchatting and hanging out from then. I think he asked for my Snapchat in class and then we kind of just would Snapchat here and there. I'm pretty sure he told me I was terrible at Snapchatting, which like I still am. Suck at Snapchatting. The next weekend after we hung out with one of my other guy friends, I invited him to this party that my sister was going to a few towns over. The thing about it was, whenever we would hang out or like Snapchat, whatever, he'd be like, oh, like we're just friends, like we're gonna be just friends. Made it abundantly clear that we were just friends. And I was like, okay, that's fine with me. We can just be friends. Like, I don't care. Then one night it was me and this girl who I was friends with at the time. Let's call her Ashley. So me and Ashley go over to Drake's house. I almost said his real name because Drake was having one of his friends over, so he asked if me and Ashley wanted to come over and drink. We go over and we start drinking. So Drake's friend ends up pulling Ashley aside and starts like making out with her. So it's just me and Drake in the room. Him feeding me all this stuff in my mind that we're just friends. I'm like, holy shit. Drake pulls me to the same side of the basement that Ashley and his friend were hooking up in, and he starts kissing me, and I was like, oh my god, what's happening? And Ashley is right next to us saying like, oh my god, Courtney, you guys are just friends. Like, as we're all just like there were so many things going through my mind at this point. I don't want to ruin a friendship. Is Drake gonna remember this? We have school in 2 days. I was like, oh my god, what if Drake never talks to me again? He texts me the next morning asking something about our English class, and I was like, okay, thank God, because if he didn't, it would have been so awkward because he sits next to me in class every day. I didn't even know where things were going to go from there. Things ended up being fine still. Me and Drake started liking each other, texting every day, hanging out more and more, alone, like stuff like that. We were both like prudes. Like, this was my first relationship. This was his first relationship. I didn't believe in love just because of what I saw like with my parents. I just felt like love was only real in movies and only existed in movies. I really never actually thought that I would fall in love with him. Like, I truly believe that I was never capable of feeling love, being loved by someone else, and he was the first person who ever made me feel like that. So I ended up falling in love with him 3 months after we started dating. At the time, it felt like a great feeling. You feel so elated and great in the moment, but then you kind of bypass all the other problems and the things that they're doing because you want them to be the person who you fell in love with at the beginning of the relationship, so you believe that they can change, when in reality sometimes they can't, and you just have to accept that. He would do small things, like we'd get into fights about stupid little things like Snapchat and like social media and stuff like that, and you know, you kind of just let it go because you're in love with someone. But you can't do that for every single problem that you face in a relationship. Some problems are too much just to kind of brush off. Probably about like 5 months in, I started getting really bad anxiety, like nothing I've ever experienced before. And Drake was pretty much the reason why I felt this way. I don't want to put all the blame on him, but at the same time, he started not answering me for hours but would be on Snapchat, and he would call me crazy and all this stuff. And yeah, like I would get jealous, but he would get so jealous too. It was one of those relationships where, like, especially if it's your first one, you're gonna get jealous, like, because you think of this person as the best person in the entire world. You think that everyone can see what you see in them, but that's just like not it. After we broke up, people were like, I can't even believe you dated him for as long as you did. Some of the things that he would start doing, he would start verbally being manipulative or abusive, you know, calling me a slut. He would always talk about my past, saying how my past, well, he was the first person who I've really done anything with. I would like make out with guys and like whatever before. He was the first guy I like lost my virginity to. So when he would bring this stuff up about how I like made out with other guys in the past, like, sorry, my card was full, but I don't really know where I left off. He would tell me that I couldn't wear makeup when I was going out, or he would make a huge deal if I did, saying that I was trying to impress other guys, that I was putting on this facade for other people when we were just alone. Sometimes I wouldn't wear makeup, which I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but he would think that I would literally put on makeup and go to parties with him. When I was going with him, he would say, I don't like that you wear makeup when we go out together because I feel like you're trying to attract attention from other guys. And to me, I literally wouldn't understand that because I was so in love with this kid that I did not see anyone else. He obviously didn't understand that. We were both so in love with each other that it's like he was so worried that I was trying to get with other people or whatever, and I just didn't understand that because I felt the same way about him. So obviously I wasn't going out to a party with him to try and get attention from other people. I thought that was kind of ridiculous. He would tell me I couldn't wear certain things when we went out. He just would say that it was like slutty. And I would tell my friends that he would be telling me basically what I couldn't wear. And they would be like, wouldn't you think that he would want to show off his girlfriend instead of Like, having her look like a bum kind of made me upset, and I would talk to him about it a lot. He just wouldn't get my point, basically. I don't think it's a crime when you're in a relationship to want to look nice when you go out. Why can't we be that couple that people are like, oh damn, like they look fucking good? That's like a maturity thing too, I feel like. I obviously did things in the relationship too. Like, I'm not like just saying that he was the only person that did things, but he also fucked with my mind a lot. For someone who has a tendency, I guess, to get anxious, it just exacerbates everything. He told me that if I didn't start to see a therapist, that he would break up with me because I had anxiety. So I would tell my therapist everything that would be happening in our relationship, and she basically would be like, he's delusional. Basically be like, why are you still with him? I would say, because I still have hope that he could be that person that he was that I first fell in love with. But he started being more physically abusive, I guess, towards the end of the relationship. Honestly, he showed early-ish signs of being someone who has the tendency to be like physically abusive probably towards the 4th or 5th month of his dating. I would be play fighting with him, like, you know, like play punching him or like tickling him or whatever, and he would dead leg my leg, like hit it as hard as he could, and I would be like, what the fuck, like why would you do that? He would be like, oh well, my dad has always taught me to fight back. My dad didn't raise like a little bitch, so if you want to play that way, then I'm gonna do that back to you. Like, I was literally just like playing around. Like, that's what people do in relationships, like they're all like cute and like mushy. I wasn't hitting him to be like F you, not like even like hitting him. It was like, ooh, just as like kind of a joke. He was doing it to get back at me, and that's also kind of concerning. It didn't really sit the best with me, but I was like, okay, I'm probably just overreacting. So fast forward to February. My grandma has a house in Miami, Florida. I asked Drake if he wanted to go there for February break with me. So we go there, and same thing on the plane. I might have like tickled him or something. He, same thing, punches my leg, dead legs it, and I say, Drake, dude, please don't do that. I said, please, like, that hurts me. Like, I really don't appreciate you, like, hitting me that hard. Like, obviously you're stronger than me. He said the exact same thing. Like, my dad has always taught me to fight back. It's just like talking to a brick wall, honestly. I'm not, like, punching you to be an asshole. Like, that's the difference. Like, he would do it basically to hurt me. We go to Miami. We're pretty much fighting the entire vacation. He tells me that since my dad gave me his credit card, that I had to pay for all his meals and stuff like that for him, when I brought him to Miami, to my grandma's house, and you're gonna make me pay for everything when we are not wealthy. His family is, but I guess his parents didn't give him any money to go away, which isn't my problem. You shouldn't have agreed to go away with me if you were gonna make me pay for everything. It's just like not cool to me. He would just say stuff in ways that I felt like I couldn't say no. It just like really started to become like a broken record. Fast forward even more, I go on vacation in April with my family to Costa Rica, and he's making me cry pretty much this whole vacation, saying he's gonna break up with me. I'm still stupidly in love with him. Him saying that, like, while I'm on vacation, I'm just like... So while I'm on this vacation, he tells me to stay out of the sun, because he doesn't want to go to prom with a Mexican. Like, I just seriously have no words for that. I am not Hispanic, number one. Number two, what do you mean you want me to stay out of the sun while I'm on vacation? No, I'm gonna stay in the sun. Go to a tanning bed if you don't want to go to a prom with someone who's tanner than you. Saying that he doesn't want to go to prom with a Mexican when I'm not that, like, that's like high-key racist, if that's like the right word to use here. He would tell me I couldn't go to parties without him, right? And that I couldn't go hang out with like certain people. At a party, it wasn't even like a party, it was like literally just like us all chilling, girls and guys, you know, just hanging out. He's at a party at Penn State, and he tells me that he's gonna break up with me because I'm at a party with these guys who want to all get with me. I'm friends with them. No, they don't. While I'm on vacation, I see his Snapchat story. He's at a party without me. I was like, I don't care that you're here, but A, you're on Accutane, so you shouldn't be drinking, and B, you're telling me I can't go to parties without you, and then you go to parties without me. It was just, there was just so many double standards. Before I left for vacation, he told me I better not see that anyone follows you on Instagram, and he was like, yeah, I don't even want like girls following you. Oh, wait, what? So I get back from vacation. I was still with him, despite the fact that he made me literally cry every day. I saw him in school, you know, things were normal. I thought at 5 or 6 p.m. and I find out that he's going to a concert without me. When he begged me to go to this one concert with my friend Lauren and I, because he didn't want me to go there alone because you didn't want people groping me. Sorry, I'm like literally getting so animated about this because it just so, oh my god. I find out that he's going to the Future concert with one of his guy friends and I was like, oh, so you weren't gonna like mention it to me like at all? I think I asked him to hang out or something and he goes, oh yeah, like I'm on the way to this concert. You didn't even have to invite me. You could have just told me that you were going there. And so that night, I see that this girl follows him on Instagram. Oh, that's interesting. Follows him that night on Instagram. Oh, so you must have met some girl at the concert who followed you on Instagram. Oh, but like I thought we weren't allowed to meet people, meet friends out and have them follow us. Right. Next day in school, I bring it up to him and he goes, oh, I don't know, there was just some girl I met at the concert. I said, oh, okay. He goes, yeah, like, I feel like you're kind of holding me down. He told me that he wanted to cheat on me at the concert. And I was like, really? You wanted to cheat on me with that girl? And he was like, oh no, it was like a different girl. Just so many mind games, such double standards. The abuse still continued. It was still like the low-key stuff like that. But it got worse when we went to a carnival probably about a month later, right before prom. And so we go to like our town carnival and we were having fun there, like everything was good. Go in the car and I got my nails done for prom. I'm driving us back home from the carnival to my house because he was gonna come over for a little bit. When we get to my house, I go to like hug him or kiss him or something like that. And he takes my hand, I have these acrylic nails on, he bends them back as hard as he can, at least 15 seconds. I'm like, Drake, 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 stop, 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 stop. I'm like wincing, I'm crying, I'm like, this really hurts, stop it. He continues to do it, he's like laughing. I'm like, what is wrong with you? He goes, oh, I thought you were gonna like scratch me in the face, so I like pushed your hand out of the way. I said, no, 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 you didn't push my hand out of the way. You bent my nails back and we're holding them there despite that I was basically crying. That's like kind of malicious as hell. And I told my therapist that and she was like, these are signs that it could get a lot worse. She basically told me that with domestic abuse, because she saw Drake, like from what I was telling her about all the stuff that he was saying and all the things that were happening, she told me that basically with people who are domestically abusive, she used this analogy where it's like you wouldn't drop a frog in boiling hot water because it's just going to jump out. But if you drop the frog in like medium temperature water and then slowly increase the temperature, it's harder for them to jump out. It's pretty much like how abusers are. Like abusers are the ones who are putting the frog in the water and I'm the frog. If someone is slowly increasing their abuse over time, it's going to be harder for me to jump out because I am like holding on to this idea that they can change and that this isn't how they actually are because they didn't start out like this. And I fell in love with this person. I have this idea of this person in my mind who I fell in love with and I want them to still be that person, so I'm still holding on to the idea of that person. Meanwhile, they're doing all these things and I'm trying not to see it because I see this person who I fell in love with. Moral of the story, things just pretty much kept getting worse, and the turning point of our relationship was basically when he showed up without being invited to one of my good friend's graduation parties, and he comes there, sees me dancing with this guy who I literally met the night of. Hello, Thomas, who I'm still close with now. He said I was like grinding on him and we were literally fake salsaing. He got so mad, he comes up to me, he grabs my arm, yanks me down to the ground. We'll never forget that jerking like feeling. I actually thought my shoulder got like dislocated from its socket, like that's how hard he yanked it. He yanks me and goes, you're a bitch, don't ever talk to me again. I was like, what? And I started crying. My friend Zach almost beat the shit out of him. He gets kicked out of the party. It's a graduation party. There's like parents there. He ends up leaving and basically I was like, I can't even believe that you did that. We were texting, fighting with each other, and pretty much like that's kind of the end of things. After that happened, both of us were just kind of done with it. So we're not gonna be civil anymore. I was really, really hurt by him. I thought that someone who loved me and who cared about me would never do something like that, but you know, everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad it happened the way it did. I still suffer with a lot of anxiety. Hi, I've been having some technical difficulties with my camera, so sorry about that. But the video's over pretty much. I pretty much said what I had to say. just that I want you guys to use this kind of as a learning experience. Again, I wasn't trying to bash him or anything like that. I was kind of just trying to say what happened and kind of show you guys the earlier signs of these kinds of relationships, so yours hopefully will not end up like this and you can like notice signs of it going in that direction. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and again, my DMs are open if you want to message me. So make sure to like the video and subscribe if you want. If you don't, it's okay. I was mostly making this video just, you know, for you guys. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.